So, me, I think I love thinking hard. Okay, man is thought. So, me, I think, and when I'm watching people, how they are behaving, sometimes I'll be watching them, and the same way I say you have to give yourself grace. So, I observe them, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm really thinking. And in my thinking, I'm thinking, wait a minute. This is something that looks familiar. This is whatever I'm blaming this person for, or whatever I'm about to blame the person from. I can't blame them. So these are damaged children. So we are dealing with a lot of damaged adults, for lack of a better word. So in today's world, understand that if you're on my channel, then you are one of the few remaining adults in the world. The world has no adults remaining. Everybody is a child out here. So you are dealing with a lot of children, spirits. You are dealing with a lot of spiritual babies out here. So they may not understand the nature of things. They don't understand Mother Nature. They don't understand how things work. They fail to understand that even when it comes to parenting, all you have to do is look into nature. And you can bring up that baby. Now, every adult, so welcome to Reparenting Tuesdays. So if you are new or a returning subscriber, welcome to Reparenting Tuesday, Master. So on Tuesdays, we do a lot of accountability. We do a lot of looking at ourselves in the mirror. We become Michael Jackson on Tuesdays. On Tuesday, we are like, I'm looking at the man in the mirror. We are trying to change ourselves. We are doing shadow work. We are looking into the shadows. We are looking into where are these problems stemming from. And most of the time, these problems come from lack of parenting. So on Tuesdays, we reparent ourselves because our adult parents were spiritual children. They didn't know better. And their grandfathers, who are your grandfathers, they also didn't know better. So we are coming from a lineage of broken promises, broken backs, broken oaths, no inheritance, nothing to inherit. Now, when you now are what you call an adult child, never forget that you are not an adult. No one should have been lied to you that now you are an adult after the age of 18. No, you are an adult child. Because even when you are in what they are calling an adult, you are still learning every day. Now you have a new sex style. So you are a child yesterday, but today you are an adult child. You are still learning in your 60s. There are still things you are learning today. So you are not an adult, you are an adult child, because every day it's about learning. Now, where you are an adult child, who you are, you watching me, this is now why we are doing the reparenting. Welcome to everyone in the comments. When you are an adult child now, wewe, saizi, there are some things you want to hear from your parent right now. You may think that you outgrew a lot of shit. You have not overgrown shit. Your parent can still manipulate you. Mamako hata waleo na manipulate, or your father. Hello, ng'ombe ĩno ndona ta ĩrenda veterinary ngũtũmĩra ga paybill kana ũnjikĩrie thimũ-inĩ yakwa tondũ ona nĩndĩronire gathimũ gaka harĩa nĩ harenda you see you are still being manipulated by your mother, by your father. You're still giving money to your parents and left with none. So wewe huwezi peleka mtoto wako ile shule unataka kumpeleka because a slice of the money you make you have to channel back to your parents. You have to still support your parents. So you are calling them adults, forgetting you are the adult child. You are a child playing the role of an adult to adults. So now as an adult child, you and me and the little bastards that were here before us, these are our grandfathers. There are some things that you want to hear from your parents. And those things is what you call accountability. Accountability. You need to hear accountability from your parents today. And that is the problem with you Africans. You think you are great. You are never great. You are not conquered. You have always been like that. No one should lie to you that they came and they conquered you. The same conquering energy, it is the same you are being conquered today. It is the same bills, it is the same shenanigans, it is the same taxes. That is the same conquering that happened back then. It just looks different at different times, different ages. Today it's taxes, today is mortgage, today is them taking your land. Now you have no land. So you'll forever pay for land that belonged to no one. Leasehold. Freehold. Now it's about to be taken. So all of a sudden, earth belongs to some special people. The government. Some shadowy figures. Because the government is you, but you don't know who's taking that money. Some business people now own the world. And you allow them to own your piece of the land. AKA, any generation that comes has to pay for land rate. We are paying who land rates? To who? Who is the landlord? Who is the landlord? So as an adult child, even today, you need accountability. You need to hear your parents say these things. Mzazi wako anafaa kuambie leo. Leo akuambie, I was not able to handle all the things or the emotions and feelings that I used to have. Na nidahotagwo muno. Sometimes I'll be overwhelmed. Wakati mwingi nilikuwa nasikia nimeshindwa sana na maisha ya kulea mtoto. Na najua hiyo ilikuwa affect kama mtoto wako. But pole sana. Pole sana. Pole sana mtoto wangu nikikulea. Ulipitia yenye ulipitia. You have to have accountability from your parents. For you to break these generational curses, your parents should be able to take accountability and admit that they could not handle the emotions. They were overwhelmed in whatever situations and relationships they got themselves stuck in. They're supposed to tell you, I know it was scary when I used to beat you as a child. Accountability. It may have been scary to you as a child growing up, me acting the way I was. And I'm sorry you had to deal with that. Accountability. You come to this page, accountability. Ndio tusirudie hizi makosa. We are not going to repeat the mistakes of our fathers and our mother. Your parent should be accountable today. Anafaa kuambie na mdomo yake. Mimi na babako tulikuwa tunapigana sana. Ama mimi nilikuwa napiga mamako na ulikuwa unaona vita kwa hiyo nyumba sana. Na ile shida ilikuwa hatukuwa tumejua kuongeleshana, hatukuwa na social skills, you know. We didn't know how to regulate our emotions. All of us had come from relationships that were also fucked up. Okay, it's a pattern in our families where akunanga weddings, akunanga rorashio. You get what I'm saying? Akunanga graduation is that kind of family. Kwanyu gutire gemi. So you come from a lineage where airetu matihikaga, airetu gutira acagio, anake matigaga atumia, mahikagia atumia magithiaga, matura na atumia matari mama na aciria miaka 60, miaka 70, guku matura matigite. You get what I'm saying? Muciari ucio agetikira na akahingura kanua gake, akakwira atiriri. Nitwaruaga muno na thoguo. Nitwarua muno na nyukwa. Muno nitwarua muno. No ti kwenda gwitu. na nĩ twahĩtagia mũno tũkĩrũa tũtaciari tondũ tũtieciragia atĩ kĩronda kĩu no gĩkũnyite we, tũtieciragia ũhoro waku. Korwo no njoke hĩndĩ ĩyo, if only I could go back, I would be more aware of how I behaved, and I'm sorry. Sometimes I feel like I could dance if I could have a chance to dance with my father once again. If I could go back, I would be more aware of how I behaved, and I'm sorry, to dance with my father once again. That kind of bullshit. Your parents should admit, we used to have a lot of fights with your father. We used to have a lot of fights with your mother. We fought a lot. We didn't have the skills. We didn't have the emotional maturity to understand what was happening. You see, I just made your mother pregnant in school. That was scary to me because I had other dreams. But being forced by society to not be seen as weak, we decided to raise you or get together for the sake of the baby. Now you are damaged because for the sake of the baby meant we were not compatible. We didn't learn how to relate with each other. So I'm sorry for that. But the parents who we have today, they are like, fuck you. They don't care. There's no accountability. Fuck you and your family. Kwenda huko. Gire musiari. Musiari niwe ugaga. De musiari ni De musiari. No juga kiodo. Musiari. No juga kiodo de musiari. Nonsense. You are a child. Adult child. Get beneath me, demon. Some of your parents always demanding perfection. Mpaka leo ukienda nyumbani unafikanga kwenyu hivi, mamako the first thing anakuambia, haiya urakindire musu tutamenya nie ngenago ureketie njuire, nie ngenago ureketie njuire. Your mother up to date, ukienda kwenyu hezi appreciate who you are, your independence. Haiya nitamaka nie ndikenago nyitite musu nie ngenago ureketie njuire. Nduna ithe wahana onake toko na ithe wahana endete uguo niwe wendete musu. Your own mother. So these were parents who are highly critical. When you are growing up, they demanded perfection, up to date. They are still too tough on you. When I go to see my dad, not now, sometimes before, when I was waking up, niko naenda kuona my dad. Nikitoka kuona my dad anabaki akisema ati nikiosi wale hubata teenager. Nikiosi wale hubata teenager. That's my father. Nikitoka nyumbani, yani nimeenda nyumbani, but nikitoka, let me reply to this text. Nikitoka nyumbani, ni conversations behind your back. Wewe umetoka nyumbani, but ile story inapigwa baadaye, unasikia story ati venye ulikuwa umevaa, ati babako anasema ati ulikuwa umeenda nyumbani umevaa kama teenager. You are thinking, I'm a grown man. I don't stay at home. Tiokiteana kirato gia sport gia teenager. That's your father now speaking behind your back. Those are your parents when you leave. Now ka uko na musudu anyitete musudu. Uko esire yoko ne ndamenya ne ahikire. Atura anyitete musudu. Mundu ena ciana ithatu. Ndagerekia njuire ngano he gitambaya. Atu ya ciana cia thiku ici ndigithagia. Now that's your mother. And unless you recognize those wounds so that you don't repeat them. You are learning this so you don't repeat them because some of your parents are damaged beyond repair. The moment you open your mouth to talk to them, demosiari, no juga kiodo, dikwenda kuga odo, kana akiri reke dige kuga gwo gwenda kuga. Tatare gugutisha. So your parents are always, even when you are grown up, those parents should understand that they were too tough on you. And they should apologize. Na kuambie, the way I was too tight on you, ndivyo pia mimi nakuanga tight on myself. It's not you, child. See, wewe, you are a child. It's not you. The way I'm tight on you, it's not you. I'm being tight on myself. I now understand that I need more softness. I now understand that I need more kindness. So you're not beating the shit out of your children. You are not repeating your parents' mistakes. So you are speaking to these children so that now they know. So instead of punishing your child for nonsense, accountability, look at yourself in the mirror. Hii tabia nilitoa wapi? Nilitoa juu nilikuwa nachapwa. Nilikuwa nachapiwa nini? Nilikuwa nachapwa juu nimeenda kuona wrestling. Wait a minute, that was too tough. Ni mtoto mgani apendi wrestling? That was too tough. Nilikuwa nachapwa juu nimeenda kwa jirani. Wait a minute. But that's demanding perfection. Every child goes to the neighbor. Hata hapa apartment, nasikianga Kamau ako ghorofa ya 7, nasikianga Joroge ako block 4, nasikianga ako Nyayo Estate size 8 sijui Z number huko. That's normal. But wewe, you used to be punished for that. Uenda kwa wenyewe kuona TV. Na tune what they are trying to raise you. But the problem was, they were reflecting on themselves. They were being tough on themselves juu hata yakuwa na TV. So anakuchua tu kana heyo lift, usipewe lift hapa. The problem is not the lift. The problem is not the lift. The problem is unamkumbusha yeye ana gari. So unachapwa. So they are taking out their pain on the children. On the children. So your parents should apologize na kuambie, you deserved more softness. I should have spoken more to you before biting you. Wale wameumwa mpaka na wazazi. Easy accountabilities they have to names. Mzazi wako anakuita difficult. You're a difficult child wewe. Kamau is my difficult child. You know I have 3 children. I have 5 children. I have 6 children. But among these children, huyu ni kichwa ngumu. Huyu. Kangethe kuja. Kuja usalimie wageni. So you see how he's walking. Ta wageni atakai kuwasalimia. Kuja hapa Kangethe. Ni fulana yako inawekirete. Hii ni sweta gani umevaa? Hii ni sweta gani umevaa na hii jua? Na umeanza kuvuta bangi, si ndio? Sweta na jua. Ni wajire kugusia vagi. Tageithia ageni. Tabogeithia ageni. Wale kirietiro na mundu mugima muno. Geithia ageni. Taruta ngovi yo kwanza. Nirasoda kurera guku. Si unaona hii niliambia mamake anyoe hii. Naski kichwa ngumu huyu. Those are your parents now. They should acknowledge they called you impatient. They were impatient with you. They told you are a difficult child. They were not patient with you growing up. The way ulikuwa unataka ku grow, they were not patient. They couldn't nurture that. Maybe it was an art. Usio niogo waku. So instead of nurturing your energy, ogetuike muini, goi, tamoithe kahuno, mutugi, shout out kwa Meregei. Instead of nurturing your energy, instead of nurturing your free spirit, now you are a Samido with a guitar. These are the parents who had issues with you, most of you. Tukifanya chat zenyu mnaniambia ala, nanwe kwende datu kaga nyebo andade kaga nyebo. Nanwe yona ninyandikire ngani nanga nyebo, that was your music. Who cut that off? Who cut off that shoot? Unakuja kuniambia venye unandikianga music watu na ujaimba. No ndainaga nini ginya edit studio agiaga ginya mundu wako ni sponsor onangania ni ndamwandikire nyimbo onangania ni ndamwandike si shida si yako ni wazazi wako. They didn't nurture your energy. They didn't allow your free spirit to express itself. So they had their own issues that stopped themselves from doing whatever they wanted. So they didn't want to get to know your other side of the story. They didn't want to see what more was in you because they have been shut down themselves. So when you were growing up, they were impatient with you. They couldn't wait for you to finish school to kick you out. However you may look at it, shida si yangu. They couldn't wait to send you to boarding school, abroad. It's a beautiful thing, but we have beautiful schools here. I know we have beautiful schools because I see white children in schools here. And anything that is good for the white man is good for you too in this world. So if it is quality education, that's what you should be getting. You should not be getting this garbage. CCB, CRB, whatever nonsense of education that you have. But who choose it for you? Were you invited on the table to be asked what you want your children to be learning? No. There's a ministry in charge. Who's in charge of the ministry? Story for another day. So your parent should acknowledge. So what I'm saying is the things you wish your parents would tell you. Of course, they're not going to tell you. Hakuna mzazi wako atakuja kuambia, you know, I was impatient with you growing up, my child. Na ungekuwa musician. Hakuna, hawakubali. Ai, akile musiali. De musiali. No, juge kiyodo. O milenio heho. Shout out to Jemima. Shout out to Auntie Jemima. Maitomo kavet. Amo ile o milenio heho. O milenio heho. Your parents should tell you, I wish I would have nurtured your energy. I wish I would have nurtured your free spirit. You are a dancer better than Beyonce. But I had my own issues that stopped me from doing that, from supporting you. I had my own issues that didn't allow me to take you to that art school. I was too impatient. I was too busy getting dick. I was too busy getting this to want to know more to that side of your story, to take you to that sports arena, to take you to that. That's where the whites beat you. Kwa sababu whites anaendanga sports day ya mtoto. Anaona mtoto, ala mtoto wako na skill, anampeleka FIFA. You don't do shit about that. Kazi yako ni kusema, dete muthira, ukawe jugua ni ahora muvira, ugeka atia. Ukawe ni ahora muvira. Uyu waku ahora muvira ugeka atia. Ni umuguragira ginya muvira. Ugani athaka muvira na mahe, oya muvira wake. Nyonie muvira wake urire kihe giaku. No bea cia ngemi ni ukuona. Basi guthii ngemi cio ndungiaga. Ai, ngiri 10 cia guthii ngemi cio ndungiaga. Kihe kiu giaku githaka muvira taguka we. Kihe kimenyagira ithe nyama-ini. Kihe kimenyagira ithe nyama-ini. Don't bring that cheap weak cadet story hapa. Aria mathiaga na roho mutheru. We are not under any weak spirits now. It's time to wake up. Kihe kimenyagira ithe nyama-ini. Take your son to the garage with you. You weak boy. You can sacrifice some of your pussy time. Jua car wash is a good time to go and fuck. Because you are whipped boys. Your woman knows where you are every second. You have to explain. You are feminized boys. Boys who are raised to praise the mother. To please the mother. To be a mother's boy. You are mothered boy. You are over-mothered boys. You are not men. Okay? You are to babas. To bryos. Small dick energy. And I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming the food you are eating. The food you are eating. The sodas. There's more soda in your veins than tea. Or wheat. Or sorghum. There's more soda in your veins than sorghum or millet, which is the land you're indigenous to. But utakuja kuniambia venye unakulanga sushi. I had dinner at Mediterrano. When was the last time you ate a proper cassava? Native to where you grew up. Yet, mzungu akikuja huku, wanashindanga organic market. Those are my customers. My organic mushrooms inakulangwa na wazungu. Nyinyi hamwezi kula. You can't buy and build your own. Hamwezi. Ununulie jengo ya mudhaka makuno hapana. Wacha niuzie wazungu. Nyinyi hamwezi. You don't even know how to build yourself. Organic. Mimi ndio nimekuza hapa. Indigenous to the land. Wacha kusema siwezi kula makuno. Imemea kwenye huko. Haijamea Ulaya. Now you think it's cool you consuming things that are from far away. Ukienda organic market unakutanga nani? Wazungu. When you look around you, who seems to be living better than you? Wazungu. You can't deny that shit. Do you see them protesting on the streets? No. Why? Because there's no need of protesting over that which you can control. Money. Accountability. So, where as an adult right now, as an adult child, remember you are still learning. Even in your 80s, you are still learning. You learn a new skill every day. So you're an adult because you are told you're an adult at 18, but you have learned something new. So you're an adult child. Your parents should tell you, I know you are my child. I believe you. I should have protected you. There's no excuse for how I brought you up back then. But I'm willing to show you differently now. Mzazi wako sahi anafaa kuwa amefika mahali amekuambia, ndio nilikulea venye nilikulea, but saizi niko ready uhusiano tu mwema na wewe mtoto wangu. Usijali tu yaliyopita. Yaliyopita sipite. Unajua? Mzazi anafaa anakuambia that as my child, I understand that I relied on you more than I should have. Mimi ni mzazi wako and I understand. I'm sorry my child, I had to rely more on you. Yani tule tu pesa ulianza kudhukuma nikiwa mzazi wako ndio mimi nachukuanga. I'm sorry. I understand and I'm sorry. I'm relying more on you than I should. Tumekosa ya kukula. We lack the necessary things that we need, the necessary resources that we should be having at home. We don't have them. And you grew up too soon. So too soon your mother is ready to let you go to the club. Ndio ile kitu taleta wakule. Too soon your mother is pretends to look the other way so that Kamau the butcher can go and sweet talk with you so that you can come with some meat. So too soon your mother allowed you to grow up. So too soon your mother allowed you to move out of home, pretending that she was allowing you to go look for work, but knowing that they should have not relied so much on you. It was too soon. But it's their lack of resources that forced that. And they should understand that no child should have to deal with that. No child should have to deal with being relied on by their parents where they lacked resources to the point unalipia sister yako shule. You are still a child, an adult child, hata hujaziweza. There's something you're trying to buy for yourself or where uwezi vaa kwa nini pesa yote unalipia brother kwa shule. It's not your responsibility. You can't even afford a holiday. Why? Every money goes to your mother. It's not your responsibility. It's not. It's truly not your responsibility. Because we have to heal these things. Because once you admit that now you're not going to rely on your children, so you are going to do every fucking thing you can right now to change that. To make sure you don't become a burden to your child. At all. In any way, shape or form. So, first, you give her the best education you can for herself. Give her the tools that she needs. Education is one of the pillars of the world. It doesn't have to be... You can teach your child na bado akuwe kwa system. Okay? Akuendi and run system. Or the system needs them. But they are aware. No child want to be in that situation where huwezi weka 10,000. Ukienda kuweka 10,000 mamako ndio huyu. Ni ule. Sukari le. Sukari le. Otateri odina arthritis ya rurimi rwakwa rutiraria. Ndina arthritis ya rurimi. Ukamwira ndirĩ ndaigua arthritis ya rurimi. Njũĩ arthritis nĩ ya mahĩndĩ. No nĩ njererokire na COVID. Ndina arthritis ya mahĩndĩ. She has even twisted how she's talking so that you can send money. Trying to even fool you ati kuna arthritis ya tongue. I have tongue arthritis, my son. Send me just 2,000. Ndĩrĩ wanjĩrire kanua gaka gatingĩcoka. Ndĩna arthritis. Aranjĩrire atĩrĩrĩ, atĩ haha njũra-inĩ-rĩ, haha hĩndĩ ndagũthĩtwo hĩndĩ ya emergency nĩ haha njũra-inĩ rĩu ndanyua tũtawa tatũma wone nĩ ndanyua tũtawa njũke wega hwaĩ-inĩ agakũhũrĩra wega. He has healed. He has healed. He's a than drink. Athire harĩa mũngetho anyua kanuthu ahingũka akũrĩa no igua kanua nĩ gokire wega kanua nĩ gokire wega nĩ honirie mwana mũgĩ taitha ũndeithire. Sasa babako amelewa pesa yako yenye ulikuwa umesave. So your parent should admit no child should have to deal with that. Ati uwezi weka shilingi yako, anafaa admit. So these are the things you wish your parents can admit, but they are not admitting. So these are the things you should now work on yourself. You don't repeat them. So now you do the best. You become the best parent now. You reparent better. You don't raise children that are broken and bruised and with words, because you can break your children with just your words. Even the children you have, speak to them. Wako ni wadogo sana. There are shit you did wakiwa kwa tumbo yako you shouldn't have done. Even when you're inside you, there's some shit you are doing when you are carrying that pregnancy. You know you shouldn't have done that shit. You mix yourself with too many energies. So talk to that child. Ukiwa umekaa na reparent unamwambia, you know I believe in you my child. Hey, now you are 4 years old, I believe in you. I should have protected you more though. Even when you are growing up in your mother's stomach, you know. There's no excuse for how I was back then. But I'm looking at you, child, and you are beautiful. I'm willing to show you differently. You know, I'm willing. Affirmations. I'm willing to show you differently. You see now, I'm willing. Because every day you wake up a new creature. Never forget that. And don't think that those children are not listening. Speak to them healing. Wacha hata yeye akigrow atajua, as a parent, you should be apologizing to your children. Just the fact that you brought them to this hell. Because you summoned them. Retro demons. Retro bastards. Tunasikianga babako akikuita bastard. Kwani what other bastard are you waiting? Sasa unataka kujifanya hujaisikia? Your father amekuita bastard. Uka bastard. Si umesikia babako akikuita? You are bastard thought. He was not even thinking about you. He was fucking your mother. A thought just came into him and he shot his shot and here you are. You bastard. A bastard son. A bastard is a lost thought form. One of the thoughts you can have when you are not even present. So that's a bastard son. So come here, you bastard. Ni babako anakukimbiza kukanyage vizuri hiyo shingo. So this parent should be admitting, I know I got into toxic relationship. Hey, your relationship, me and your mother, oh my God. But now you know, I looked at my chart the other day. I was like, what is this now? Then I'm like, I looked at my Chiron, where I'm wounded. I'm like, shit. My Chiron is in Taurus. And I'm, all these things. And I was like, fuck, man. My North Node is in Libra, so I have open and hidden enemies. Shit, man. I was like, fuck, man. Even our relationship started off as hate, man. Hate is life. You know they say love is blind and it'll take over your mind. What you think is love is surely not you to elevate and find. Love is blind. So maybe you started off on hate. You had so much hate for each other you couldn't stand each other. So I agree. Your parents should agree. I'm in this toxic relationship. You have seen things you shouldn't have seen. You are my child. I understand you are my child. There are some things you should not have seen. You are my son. As my son, I apologize. You are not supposed to see me with a machete. Nikikatakata mbuzi. As my children, that was too much for you to see. as your father, it was so much unanikuta na shoka nikikatakata ng'ombe na shoka na yua na katakatia mbuzi ama umbo ati nimekasirika. You should not have seen that. This came from the toxic relationship that I got into with themselves first. Because the things that your parents have done, these things have impacted your ability to trust and love, you can't trust anyone. So even when it comes to business, you can't do business with anyone. You are not even capable of love. Imagine your father, mzazi wako, anatoa panga, anashinda akinoa panga, na amepiga kelele usiku na amepiga mamako, juu nini inaendelea. All of a sudden anachukua panga na katakata mbuzi. As a child, you're not supposed to. That is too much. Mzazi anafaa ku apologize. Because the impact of what you saw, your ability to trust, your ability to love is affected forever. You cannot trust, and trust goes deep, because trust goes even into businesses. You don't even trust yourself in a business. It's that deep. It's spiritual. Hapa ni shadow work. You don't even trust in your ability to do anything you touch. False. Self-sabotage. Hata ujui, because your spirit has never learned to trust anyone or to love. Because your parents, the first figures you saw who were supposed to love you, the people you are supposed to trust, you couldn't trust them. Mtu anachukua shoka na katakata ng'ombe. That's my father. My last born sister, anakuanga amevunjwa meno hapa. My father broke her tooth na torch. My sister walks with a cane, mwenye amenifuata. My father stepped on her back. So how am I supposed to trust and love? I can't love. I can't trust shit. So even an apology coming from them, I can't trust it. Of course, they can't apologize. They won't apologize. Their father has never apologized. So these parents should be asking you, can we repair that damage together? Can we find a way to repair these damages together? But even now, they are shutting the door on you, on your face. You know, you're supposed to deal with it. The punishment some of you got from your parents, nyinyi, they were harmful. Wengi mmerushiwa moto, like it's something very proud to do. Your mother alikutupia moto. You have burns almost to your pubes. Some of you have bruises, you have marks that were left by your parents. Uliumwa. Uko na mark up today ya mzazi. Alikugonga akakupasua kichwa, you have a mark. You are stitched. Umeshonwa mahali babako alikugonga. That punishment was harmful. But those parents should be admitting they got the same punishments from your grandfathers, the people before them. We leave our patterns. They learned from somewhere. So when I tell you, it's not all ancestors that are good for you. Because now you're supposed to see that was wrong. Wewe, you see, this is wrong. This should not have happened. So instead of this parent telling you, I'm sorry, and I hope you can understand how much I regret biting you. Right now, ukiwa mtu mzima, babako anakaanga akikukumbusha. Ndio nikaanda kurumile mgongo we. Unajua hiyo kilema ni mimi nilikuweka wewe ukikua mtoto wangu. They haven't learned the mistakes that they did. And without accountability, we are not going to repair. Without accountability, we are not going to heal families. That's why when you come on this page, unasemanga, we are healing together, thriving together. And these parents, they are not going to act. So you need to find your group. That's why when I come here, I tell you, join the WhatsApp community group. If you are ready to heal, join that private community. It's open for everyone. We share a lot of stuff there. People speak. We have an upcoming event, another one, like the other one we did. People come. You take the mic. You speak. It's a whole community that needs to heal. If we don't heal, we will never thrive. We will always complain about taxes. We will always complain about things we cannot change because we are not on those tables. We are not on those negotiating tables. Inyu mwe ciana cia ndigwa gikuyu amutigire weru muga muri ya gikuyu mwe ciana cia ndigwa gikuyu amutigire weru mukoragwo weru. You are abandoned by gikuyu mwe ciana cia ndigwa. Koguo mwe ciana cia ndigwa no nginya mumenye uria mugukira, uria mukuhona, uria mukahona mwe hamwe. Nikyo murahurwo na njugu memwe tu ya dini kana ya siasa to mutiri hamwe. Everything is spiritual before the physical. Do you get it? Accountability is admitting that most of these people who cause these irreparable damages that you have, that are making your assertion that much harder based on culture, based on rules on how you are supposed to not question, obey. So the parent is always right. Mzazi anaweza kuachia curse. That is not nature to us Africans. That was brought by the white man. Cursing children is something that you are taught. Because even when you go outside and you go into nature, you don't see that. We see nature nurturing. You see a cat taking care of its young until it's grown before giving birth to others. We are the only people who give birth before we have fully matured what we raised in the first place. So that was taught to you. Why should I have 5 children from one mother and maybe she has weak genes? Why can't I have 5 children with different mothers and they have strong genes, but they are all mine? They are all mine. We are all building, each in their own capacity. That's how Father Abraham had many sons, many descendant sons, but you're having sons with the right women. How is it supposed to be done? Now that's another thing that we can make new. We can transmute the old. If polygamy is something good, which is not even patriarchal, it's matriarchal, because remember, it is mombi. Awa niwe musiari, niwe waraga mbegu. Abba, Adam, thought, Gikuyu. Mombi, masculine, feminine, nurturing, internal, molding, gaining density, accumulation, becoming physical, something becoming practical, that which was speculative, from the spirit to the physical. Now, so those thought forms were not even Africans. So Africans didn't curse. The cursing came with the Europeans. Even today, there are people who curse in their language. Unasikia, this movie has a lot of curse language. It's not yours. It's not even American. It's European. Even the Americans who have given that language, it's a foreign language. So even when you curse in your own language, in your culture, it's still not yours. You are taught that into your native tongue. Didn't you have adult education? You had to be converted first. Those are the words you'd love to hear from your parents. Them apologizing. If you have a mark, you need to heal. If you have a physical mark from your parent, they were too mean on you. Remember, you are still a child even today. You are a child in an adult body. Because right now, you could learn something you never knew before. You could be in your 60s and discover you can still... Or you could be in your 60s and you're like, oh shit, I didn't know I could squat. So for the first time you are squatting in your 60s. Yeah, you are an adult child. Someone told you are an adult, but you are still a child when it comes to squatting. So the first quoting, you are doing it at 6, you're like, oh my god, this was not even P. Oh my god, this is the real... I didn't know squatting was real. Oh my god, I had to wait 60 years until this. Oh shit, once you go black, you never go back, or something to that matter. You never know. Black is not a color. It's once you go dark. Once you let go. You stop holding on to what you think you know. You let sex take its natural way. Start doing it how you have been doing it. You go dark. Okay? Amanda learned how to squat from a white man at 16 years old. Shout out to Amanda. Shout out to wet Amanda. Squitty Amanda. We like wet women here. We're not complaining, Amanda. We like slippery when wet. We love our women wet. We like women with wet ovaries. Not dried ovaries from all these family planning things they use and all these pads to stop their menses and all these hormonal injections they get and everything that dries their ovaries. No, we like wet ovaries. We are sick and tired of spitting on our cocks all the time. No, I want that thing. That thing has to have life. Give me a wet pussy every time. You know what I'm saying? Now, so these things, because these people are not going to be accountable. They are not going to say sorry. That's why you need to find your own people. Find people you can have these conversations with so that you can heal together and thrive together. Because you have to... These are like weights that you carry around you that you are never able to let down, to let your guard down because you think you are not supposed to. Okay? No one is going to judge you. You can speak on the unspeakable things your father did to you, and no one is going to judge you. You're going to receive a hug, a group hug from the people around you. Everybody has got their story. Before you judge anyone, everybody has got a story. So the next event, I'm going to announce the next event, which is going to happen with the new year. New Year is March 20. So from March 20, I'm going to announce an event. So we can plant that as a seed, a healing seed. So when the heavens are pouring, Burayakehu, New Year, spring, equinox, the beginning of the year, officially, not your Julian calendar, which we follow, but the new begins in March 20, spring, aka the day the sun, the moon, and the stars are all aligned, aka when it's 12 p.m. and you're standing outside, there's no shadow. You don't create a shadow because the world is aligned. That's New Year, spring, okay? Where you can even see it with your own fucking eyes. You go outside, it rains. 2 days later, everything is coming out of the ground. Things you have never seen. Plants you have never witnessed before. Everything springs to life. Grass you have never seen before. You're like, oh my God, I've never seen this kind of tree. Maybe the birds brought it. No, the rains came with it. It's spring. It's a new time. Shout out to Amunoi, Helios' daughter. Okay? The sun's daughter, Helio's daughter. Go and do some research on that. AKA, the sun has a feminine side too. Everything has a masculine side and a feminine. The sun has a masculine and a feminine side. The moon has a masculine and a feminine side. Do your research. Shout out to Amunoi. So, since these parents are not going to admit that this is what is happening, you need to find your group. You need to find your healers. You need to heal together. You need to reparent together. And sasa hapo ndio una realize, oh shit, I thought I had gone through shit. Where? Yani unataka kutuambia ati babako, mtoto uko na yeye ni wa babako na bwanako wajui? Hapana. Na mtoto wa pili ni wa bwana yangu. Na watatu ni wa bwana yangu. Na waine ni wa baba yangu. Ate? Iru muthuri aguka kuingira ndege, muthuri muthenya uraingirire ndege agicoka US ri. Atoinukire na okire akirara mucii. Eugire atoinukie na ngari. Riu tugikinya mucii agikiuga ni arakena muno my son ni athire Ruraya. Akija riu to my son ni athire Ruraya na ndingenda mutumia wa my son atecekage ni kwaga mundu ri, na my son aguyuka after 1-2 years ri. Ni ndona ndimonagire, as your father it is my duty to take care of my wife's son. Now your father is sleeping with you. Imagine. Watu wanakuja wanaongea nasema wait ate where I thought I had it but na bado mnaongeanga na babako father in law bado mnaongea hai na bonako ajui watoto ajui aonangi wanafanana, anaonanga wanafanana, lakini unajua ni mtu ni babake anasema wanafanana na guka yake. Na utamwambia hizi gadi nasio kavuli. We. Shit is deep. Shit is deep. So we still have time. Tumeingia Gemini. So let's talk a little bit Gemini. The moon is still hapo iliyo energy before it goes to full moon in Virgo, which is harvest season. Okay, full moon in harvest season. Sasa hii ndio wakati wa kuenda kuvuna asali. Wacha kushinda ukituambia hapa apiary. Ati unajua apiary nilienda hapa beekeeping. Sasa walisema wakati huu saa zile kunataka kunyesha nyuki sasa ndio kuchukua. No, it's Virgo time, harvest season. This is the time to harvest honey. Cha kushinda ukisema ati apiary beekeeping. Go outside. 6 am nilikuwa nje, nyuki zilikuwa already very busy. 6 am zikicollect pollen. Ndio ukichukua ile asali uanze kuweka haraka, sasa ndio umechelewa. Chelewa ukapata mtoto si wako. Nafuata 2 mwezi. Ni sawa sawa. Just before we go into spring, that full moon Virgo inakuanga ni harvest season. Shout out to my moon in Virgo people. It will be a birthday for you. It will be a full moon in your sign, Virgo moon. You know yourself. So you need to heal, Amanda. I don't have to forgive you for anything. Stop over explaining. Stop begging. Stop feeling like you have not done anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with you not knowing my native language. Okay, so don't apologize for that. You're coming from a world where you are taught to apologize for nothing. You are an adult child. You can still learn. I can teach you, Amanda. Okay? For example, if I was to say, Amanda, you have a beautiful pussy, I would say, Amanda, you get it. So you learn pole pole, no rush. Okay? Pole pole, no rush. Amanda, you have a good pussy. You learn slowly. Don't apologize for not knowing the language. Okay? Shout out to Amanda. You can go and follow Amanda Cody. So we create these communities where now healing becomes a group thing. And shout out to the people who came to the last meeting. We make these things because Aquarius is all about the social. Aquarius is all about social. Okay? So we create groups where we meet for healing. And shout out to the people who come to my life and doing it. Nimeona wameanza coloring event where people are meeting just to do coloring events, adult coloring events, healing together, because that is, see what I'm saying? That's how you do it. Shout out to Amanda. You know I'm extra. I'm a moon in Leo, Amanda. So you know I have to go extra. That's my moon. My lion. My moon is in Leo. So I'm allowed to be extra. Who said I can't be extra? Who's that trying? Who's trying to sound like my father? Who's trying to sound like my father? Telling me I can't be extra and shit. I can be extra spicy. I'm out of tea. I should have sipped on that. I'm out of tea. Oh, there's a kidogo. I'm extra spicy. Spicy. Somebody stop me. So, shout out to LJM. Modo wa Munjiro. Good to see you. Nice to see you too. So, do have a beautiful Tuesday today, Reparenting Tuesday. Reparent yourself. The things unaona, the moment unasikia kitu ni kama mzazi wako anafaa kuambia pole, understand that sasa hiyo ni kitu unafaa kulearn to say to your children from a young age. Hata kama wajui, niambia mtoto wako pole for no reason. Hug your child and tell them, I'm sorry you have to go through what you go through every day. Hata kama ni shule, rub your child's back and tell them, I'm sorry, I know the world is tough out there. Najua ukienda shule you meet a lot of things. I'm sorry my child, because they don't tell you everything. Some are bullied by the teachers, some are bullied by other children, but so ulimuingiza kwa system. So hug them when they are home. Let them know that you understand the pain they are going through. They can even open up more. Okay? They can open up to you more now. Your child can feel safe with you. So you can have a conversation. They can tell you when you don't want to do something, and it's okay. Unatuma mtoto anakuambia, "Imam, sisikii kuenda." Wacha kumshautia na kumrushia vitu atutaka. No. Wewe heal. Who taught you that? If as a grown up you don't feel like going to pick it up, what makes you think them as a child they feel like going? Pengine wamtuma kutoka asubuhi. So namwambia, siende unilete Nyambura, aende uniletee kitu fulani, nakwambia sisikii kuenda. Ambia sawa, acha niende. Without guilt, wacha kumguilt trip ati ya sawa tu. You get up, you go and get the shit you want, and you come and you sit down. Reparenting. You have a 2-year-old that is biting you. You manifested that is your demon. That is terrorizing you. Shout out to your demon. Shout out to your little terrorist. Why is the baby biting you? And they are 2 years old. Biting you as in fighting with you or what? Where are the nannies? Where are the nannies? Do you have any nannies here to help one of us? That's why we need a big community. We need nannies. I need nannies in my group. Any nanny in the group who can help these ones stop their child from biting them. They have a 2-year-old that is biting them, biting the shit out of their fingers. Very soon they'll be handling the baby with gloves. The parents will be looking like Thanos. When you want to pick your child, you look like Thanos. Thanos gloves to pick your tiny child. Yeah, I know you are terrified. So any nanny in the space? Do you have any nanny in the space? To help, let's help this terrified parent. Brought a little terror down here, manifested some terror. Someone is saying that the baby is teething. Maybe you need to shove something between that baby's jaws, like a carrot. I'm not an expert. I'm just saying maybe you need to shove a carrot in the baby's mouth so that it can, Any nanny in here? Let's help one of us. He has all the teeth. So they have a baby that is terrorizing them. So where are the nannies at? Someone is saying she's just trying to express herself. She feels unheard. Create a safe space for her. Someone is saying district the child, give the child to the government, tell them I am not responsible for these thoughts and feelings. I was persuaded by the phone. My phone gave me a notification to go and shop, I was sitting at home. I was very safe. My mind was very safe. But an idle mind is a devil's workshop. My phone went ding. I checked. There was a notification for KFC. I picked my keys. The phone reminded me I needed KFC. Is because, I didn't know. It is the phone that reminded me. Blame it on the phone. Blame it on something external. So I got up, picked my keys, and jumped into my 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 loan car, my loaned car in my mortgaged home. So I drove to the chicken inn, and as I got there, I was distracted by this girl. She was so nice. Man, you should have seen her. She had those, her everything. So you are describing her. She had eyes that were so black. They look like black beans floating on milk. You are trying everything now to justify yourself. Okay. So I went, and as I was making my order, I couldn't help to overhear. You are all the senses, your senses. I couldn't hear to overhear. She was asking for a quarter chicken. I was like, oh, is she? She's too beautiful to have a quarter. Let me just buy her a full one. So I ordered her a full one and I got her number. So now, do you know 3 months later, this girl is pregnant? And now I'm just coming to find out today that she'll be 18 in December. I'm like, so she's 17? No, she'll be 18 in December. No. We are in March 11th. Shout out to 11. So you are telling me she'll be 18 in December, but in March 11, yeah, so she's 17. But she'll be 18. No, so you are telling me you made a minor pregnant, and the police are after you. Mazee, hizi simu juu. Mazee unajua mia that sijui. Oh, so now you are blaming it on the phone. So you are blaming it on the phone now. How you manifest that bastard. Because you are not aware. So now your phone is directing you now. So now you'll be blaming your phone for children you bring to this world, mistakes that you do into this world. So now so now you're about to blame it on the phone now. Blame it on my OnePlus 2, blame it on my iPhone, blame it on my Galaxy, Samsung Galaxy, Stars Galaxy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the nannies. Where are the nannies? Warenga, you wanna be a nanny today? Warenga can be a nanny. Warenga can request and be a nanny. Warenga can come in and tell us a little bit about that child who's biting. Maybe Warenga knows a thing or two about biting. Who knows? She's from that clan that bites. The independent woman, that Lilith energy. The women who don't go with the rules. Jump on a plane. On a midnight train to Georgia, or that Elton John energy.
Hello.
Warenga.
In the order of distinction, it is I talking to you, Charlie Chaplin. What did the other guy say? Fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee. And the South Africans say attack like a lion, but be gentle like the duka. Yeah? So, biting children, like you said. Why are you being bitten by your own genetic line? Why are you being bitten by your forefathers? Why are they biting you? When then you look at the teeth, what problem does this child have? Is it bitterness? Is it anger? Why is the child biting? The teeth, every tooth represents a certain organ. Every organ represents a certain emotion. Every emotion in the organs, that is your DNA that creates that organ, has a certain kind of effect that brings about healing. The pancreas, the liver, if you have issues with that, you'll have a problem with your wisdom teeth and you are going to be bitter and you have to do something to make you feel better or take something to make you feel bitter so that you align that energy. Now, when it comes to children, most of the time when children bite, it's because of sensory issues, because you're not giving them that space to be able to project their feelings, say what they need. or show you what they need because you're impatient as a parent. So now that is for the typical children. Now the neurodivergent children, they cannot express themselves by default, maybe because they're autistic, or maybe because they have other development problems. Now that is up to you as a mother to be able to sense their emotions. So everything has to do with bonding. Did you bond with your child? Did you breastfeed your child? Did you decide you're not going to breastfeed your child because you don't want your boobies to fall? Did you decide on your own that you're not going to have a natural birth, whereby you had been given the ability to give birth naturally and you decided, no, I want a cesarean, juu sitaki sijui kusikia uchungu hiyo, sitaki sijui nini, and all those other things. And if there is nothing in the ancestral line that is lacking, sometimes it's just a child being naughty. Labda maybe like Waringa, they are an Aries, and then they have the ruling star, the ruling planet as Mars, and then again like Mudaka, her moon is as well in Leo. We are extra people, and if a child does not know how to express themselves, and they are angry, and they don't know how to vent off that anger, of course, watakuuma, because that's the only thing that the child can do. If you're provoking that child, if you're not listening to the child, if you're not giving the child that space because they cannot punch you, then I cannot put you to the ground. So it's as well a defense mechanism sometimes. So that is something that we can check. The only thing I always say is patience, 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 and do shadow work on your own. Heal so that you can be able to bring up a child. Kama ni mtoto anashindangwa akishautiwa, akiambiwangwa they cannot, akiambiwangwa hivi na hivi, and not, for example, you shout at a child even a 2-year-old, and you don't tell them why you're shouting at them. Why should you even shout at the child in the first place? But let's say, for example, you're trying to reprimand a child, and you do not explain to them. People say, ni mtoto haelewi. Of course, wanaelewa. Those children even understand you even more. Why do you think they go through terrible tools and try to manipulate you? Try to see how far they can go with your limits. It's because they understand, because we are all born spiritual. It's only that we forget, and then we have to relearn again everything that we came with into this earth. Ndio unaona watoto wakizaliwa, the hands are closed, and then when they die, kila mtu anakufanga na mkono wazi. You know, I think that's the time maybe that people try to say die with their hands open. I'm sorry, not trying to be to be rude. I mean, please just make sense somehow or the other, no? So because they finally find their peace. So that is what I can say towards that, unless there's a question. And yeah, it is what it is. Just bond with your children, listen to your children, give them that space. Try to be, try even to communicate with them telepathically. The way when a mother, I don't know where mtoto akianza kulia, matiti inaanza kutoka maziwa. You can continue that even when the child is into adulthood. You just don't need to break some patterns. Hii mambo ya kusema okay, sasa huyu ni mtoto mkubwa. They don't need this, just like the way your program kusema mtoto ni mkubwa. 2-year-old is still breastfeeding. I know people who their children come from school and I mean from kindergarten with that 2-year-old, 2 years, because nowadays people are even taking their children to kindergarten with a few months, and the children come home with 2.5, and they breastfeed. When a child does not want to breastfeed anymore, unless there is a certain issue, atawacha matiti mwenyewe. But then you will have taken care of a very good immune system, that child, yeah? So it is what it is. And kama kawaida, then I say nidhayo, na si kila mtu anasemanga Jesus is there, ama enda pale utaona Yesu, ndio inamaanisha Yesu yuko hapo. Tuliambiwa this is the time. Ukisikia ndio ule Yesu unasema achana naye kwanza, let me Jesus myself first. You know, let me be my own Christ. Then I can go to look out for other Christs. So even in that retrospective, it starts in the household. Be the Christ to yourself. Be the Christ to your children. Sasawa. Thanks, Wamodaka. Attack like a lion, but be gentle like a duka. Ciao. I'm on school runs.
Ciao, ciao. So shout out to Waringa. Now you have gotten your answer. Okay. More than that, now you know why some of you are stuck on a nipple all the time, because maybe you didn't even get enough nipple time with your parents. So you have a fetish for nipples. You're like, oh my God, let me see your nipples. Send me those nipples. Oh my God. Oh my, your nipples. Oh my, those aerorais. Oh, because maybe you lack that. Maybe your mother was too quick to take the breast away from you. Shout out to the women out there willing to suckle the men. Now, so we'll end the live now. So we'll catch up when we catch up. The Parenting Tuesday, over and out. You have a beautiful Tuesday. Ciao, ciao.